Hello, everyone. Welcome out to the Cars, Bars, and Guitars podcast, episode lucky number 6. Yes, I said 6.
666, the number of the beast. Hell and fire is born to be released. And I'm your co-host, Steve.
And Steve, who are we brought to you today by?
Carl Castle's ghost. Rest in peace, buddy.
Oh, that's going to be a downer on my Sunday and Saturdays and Sunday morning replays.
There's 20 years of archives, so it's going to be okay. Which is real funny because I kept hearing him, wait, don't tell me. But it wasn't until way later I heard him do a real news broadcast in the morning. Like, wait a minute.
That's not a real thing.
Him doing something serious?
Can you hear yourself now?
No, I don't care.
Oh, I can hear you. You sounding lovely.
Don't need to lie to me, thank you.
Steve and I are breaking open the liquor today. So my wife had a bad day at work, and she's like, well, can you go get me something at the ABC store? And I was like, yeah, I can do that. And she wanted a bottle of Hypnotic. And I was like, yeah, I'll go get you something. She said, are you going to get anything? I'm like, nah, I'm not much of a liquor drinker anyway. So I walk in the joint, and I'm like 5 feet in, and I see Knob Creek Smoked Maple Bourbon. I'm like, all right, count me in. I'm getting something. So I got that, and Steve and I are trying that, and it smells like pancakes. And that
oddly enough, it's delicious over waffles right now.
we would assume so. Later on we're gonna mash it up with something very special. But for now we're gonna go just on the rocks. So cheers. That's dangerous.
Yeah, this is no good. I should take yours so you don't need to.
That is brilliant. And Knob Creek backwards is Kirkbank.
Gesundheit.
Yes. It's really good, though. Knob Creek's it's in Kentucky. It's in Bourbon County, Kentucky. And some people would say that makes it actual bourbon. Other people like me who know what the actual definition of bourbon is, it doesn't have to be in Bourbon County, Kentucky. Gray. It can be anywhere in the U.S. It just has to be made a certain way, and I don't care to look it up on Wikipedia quite yet. So, Steve, you're more of a dark liquor guy more than a white liquor guy, right?
Dark power. What? I've been kind of experimenting with the whiskey-shaped hole lately. Mm-hmm. Conviction out of Mount Pleasant. A new distillery in the area built up an old jailhouse.
Rock.
Yes, it does.
Near Toby's house.
Yes.
He still hasn't made it out there yet, but you have had stuff from there. I've
had the whiskey from there, but I've not been to the distillery yet.
The verdict?
You need to, I'd say drop everything, but I don't know, work on this bottle first, and then sooner than later, you need to get some of that.
Now, I'm sure that some of your bourbon and whiskey snobs would take offense to a flavored whiskey, just like I'm sure cigar snobs take offense to chocolate flavors that they like the purity of it. But I'm kind of equal opportunity. I dig the flavored stuff. I don't see a problem with that at all.
Baskin whiskeys.
Ooh, this should be garnished with a. Remember the little 4x4 pancakes that you could toast?
Yeah,
the Eggos. Those were great.
Yeah,
so
those
that should be.
Neat.
Or the waffles.
Little bite-sized waffles, yes.
Are you a pancake guy or a waffle guy?
Waffle guy. Holds stuff better.
It is the syrup traps. Thank you, Hedberg. All right, I like the pancakes better as long as they don't get soggy too soon, which the waffles don't get as soggy soon. So by default, I don't like soggy cereal. I don't eat cereal in milk. I just eat it dry.
In water. What?
Well, if we're out of milk.
In condensed milk?
Now you're bringing me back to the movie Friday. Do you remember that?
Vaguely.
Yeah, he pours that big-ass bowl of cereal and didn't check to see if there was any milk, and he goes to pour the milk, and there's like this much in it. God, this is really good. Steve's not going into work tonight.
Nah, why start now?
How was staying late early this night?
Everything worked well enough, just kind of tedious having to sift out lots of tiny bits of paper to make effective, workable jobs out of this stuff. So it's all well and good, and didn't fall asleep on the drive home, so that's nice.
That's good. But you're not...
That 25-mile commute is a bit brutal.
Yeah. Steve has officially moved in to his new place, I think.
Yeah, close enough. Still have the same closet of clothes and same bathroom to clean from last time. Whoops.
Well, I guess officially you don't have...
98% there.
Close enough.
Yeah, and no longer have the interweb in my name there.
Oops.
Mail forwarding's complete. Hey, no harm, no foul, and I did get a return check from them. So if it wasn't for $33, I would have framed it. Much like last time I kiboshed Time Warner, had not been for $75 for half a month's refund, I'd have framed that. But hey, it is real money after all.
Do you want to explain to the lovely people why you're the cable?
I'll just say it's the eye patch. Move on.
He's taking the fifth. I'm going to take
because the offense became the sixth.
I'm going to take the 15th Amendment right now. I don't know what it is, so I'm going to look it up. Do you have a guess? I don't even have a guess. That's not suffrage, is it?
That was later. That would have been, I think, 19th.
Well, 18th was prohibition. 21st
was right before, and 21st repealed it, hence the brewery.
Yes.
Yeah, 19th was women's suffrage.
Oh, 19th was women's suffrage. So women have only...
The time frame would be right between Prohibition in 1919, women's suffrage in 1920, and the 21st Amendment repealing the 18th was the 33rd.
Yay, history. Drunk history. Oops.
Working on it.
We can't do that. Somebody's already doing that.
At least not that phrase. I think the idea could easily be mimicked, but to call it drunk history, I do believe Comedy Central is going to be up your ass.
I believe we would be getting my mommed sued.
Ellen?
I'm a degenerate. So I just took the 15th Amendment, which was the right of citizens of the U.S. to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the U.S. or any state on account of race, color, or previous condition of servitude. All right, I just took the 15th Amendment. Which amendment are you taking?
I'd say 29th, but that's not a thing yet.
What do you think it's going to
be?
be?
How progressive am I?
I think it's going to say that anybody who is in orange of color cannot be president. I hope. Oh, but all colors matter, I guess, right?
More of a lime fan myself.
Lime in the coconut?
So long as you steer clear of that song, yes.
Who sang that? It's somebody reggae.
You can't hear my head rattle. I think it was proto-reggae. It was like...
Reggae prog.
Fuck's sake.
Prog-gay. Prog-gay sounds really cool. I would listen to prog-gay. So it would be like a combat... Prog-gay would be if Dream Theater, Bob Marley, and 311 had a baby. Steve's wincing. He's perplexed, bamboozled.
Don't pull me under.
He's speckeldorfed.
Pardon?
There's an episode of SpongeBob where Mr. Krabs goes, "We've been duped, we've been bamboozled," and then SpongeBob goes, "We've been speckeldorfed." He goes, "That's not even a word, and I agree with you." It's a great show. Emily can't stand it. She can't get over his voice.
Not enough murder.
True. But did you? Toby told me the other day that Tom Kenny, the guy who does SpongeBob's voice, was the male in the car in the video "Tonight Tonight" by the Smashing Pumpkins. Yeah, isn't that neat? That's kind of neat.
Sure enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, small world.
And I think after 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, they're finally calling that show quits.
How long is...
It's, I'd say at least 15 years, if not 20. It's been on for a while.
So close to Simpsons range.
Yeah, they're creeping up on 30. Since the first official season of The Simpsons started in late 89.
Right, because they were on Tracy Ullman.
87-ish.
Okay, I thought that was right after I was born. So about a year after I was born, they started. That is crazy.
Your recall of that is so good, huh?
It's pretty...
Just like how E.T. as an infant.
Ouch. Ouch. I still love Reese's Pieces. You can't see that.
What? I'm counting to 3 as loud as I can with my hand.
Have to go a little bit louder. We'll have to turn up the volume on that. Nope. Boy, if it picks that up, that's some hellish sensitivity. I'm sad. I'm down to 2 guitars.
Yeah, but you're up X amount of money until further notice. So there is that bright side, as brief as it may be.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards another electric, which is funny because we only play acoustic gigs, but I like the electrics.
Would you need the twin neck?
They don't, well, they do make a twin neck PRS.
I was unaware of how, if that is in current production. I think that was something that probably phased out with the Reagan administration. But hot damn, it sure looked cool.
If you go custom shop with Gibson while they're still in business, and yeah, I'll explain that in a second. Fender, PRS, Jackson, they all have custom shop. So you can pretty much, if you call them and go, hey, I have a lot of money. I would like you to build me this guitar with this top, with this wood neck, with this, I want a bolt neck, I want a set neck, I want a through neck. You can have them build anything you want to do, and they will build it, and it will not be cheap at all.
Split the difference. I get 2 Ibanez's and a roll of duct tape.
You can't duck it. Fuck it.
Quack.
They do make a double neck PRS, but it is custom shop, and it's like $10,000. So I won't be getting that anytime soon. I can barely play a 1-neck guitar, much less playing 2. But there's a, Coheed and Cambria, the band.
At least the name, yes.
Yeah, there's a video when they play Welcome Home. They play it live at Guitar Center, and he plays a double-necked SG. And the top one is a 12-string. The bottom one's a 6-string. And he plays the solo on the 12-string behind his head. And it's and like he had Claudio Sanchez has this big ass head of hair, and he's sitting there playing it. It's the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. I was like, he is playing better not looking at it than I do if I looked at it.
That's gonna make a hell of a tangling.
Well, he's got L'Oreal, and he's worth it. Don't you miss, I don't see shampoo. You don't see shampoo commercials anymore.
What's the commercial?
Well,
I've got a DVR again, so. To my loo, I shall skip.
That is going down suspiciously smoothly.
Yeah. I'm just going to have to switch to straight up Aunt Jemima to not be completely shwasted by the end of this.
Now you're cooking. That used to be the slogan. It was Aunt Jemima, now you're cooking.
Oh, I was thinking that would be a wonderful natural gas ad.
We forgot to add French toast. So if we're pancakes, waffles, French toast.
If you could French toastify a waffle,
I'm sure you could. Oh, well,
I'm still sticking by waffle, but to add that element to it would be delicious.
It would be very close to the insult that I used to call people, which was a twat waffle. It would be a twaffle.
And oddly enough, despite the fact it would then in fact be a French toast waffle, it would be very different from a Belgian waffle.
Yes, it would. It would surrender. I'd have a little
cheap trick.
We were gonna. I sent you a text about we could talk about hair metal today. We haven't. I don't think we've actually delved into hair metal.
Not much at all. And since that was next last minute, I've had next to no time to research these things. So, how much out of my ass can I pull this? Oh well, let's go find out. That said, my favorite hair metal band is something a bit more modern, the Steel Panther.
That is, well, it is still hair metal. We didn't necessarily
specify 80s hair metal.
Exactly.
Seeing as these fine fellows are about my age. So that puts them about 602.
Yes, but with the makeup that they look the same age.
Maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline.
Now we're back to the commercials again.
We no longer want to watch commercials on the TV. We'll just look up the old ones on the YouTube.
Exactly. That's so much fun to do, by the way. Like looking at the old Kool-Aid commercials and
you'll never have as much fun as that kid kicking everyone's ass in Crossfire.
That's a brilliant video. If you haven't seen that, it's brilliant. Isn't he? He's dancing. He's like doing DDR in that video. He's doing something.
Oh, what, the Steel Panther video?
Yeah,
of it? Yeah.
I thought it was
basically
DDR.
just trying to dodge these giant steel balls.
I thought it was DDR, so it's like industrial DDR.
Sure.
Before we get
better soundtrack too.
Before we get started on that, on the hair metal, I've talked about Good Mythical Morning before. The two guys from North Carolina, Rhett and Link, and they do these ridiculous challenges. Well, they do taste tests of discontinued food items periodically. So they taste tested discontinued sodas, discontinued snacks, discontinued chips, discontinued. And they pay for it.
How beyond expired are these at what exorbitant fees on the Bay of E?
Yes.
Oof.
Well, they got a 4-pack of the carbonated coffee from Starbucks from like 92 or 93. And
are they going to boycott it a month?
I need to ask you more about that because I've seen something. You didn't check it either?
It's a thing going on.
Okay.
Insensitivity taking effect, and I know Dunkin's got better coffee. Go there.
And cheaper. And they have donuts.
Anyway, discontinued carbonated coffee thing from 92.3.
It still had plenty of carbonate. Like they popped it up and it was, of course, it was in a glass bottle and it was a pop top. It wasn't a twist off. So that traditionally holds the flavor better. But they go back and they play the commercials from it too, and it's so awesome. It just hits you right in the nostalgia. But I never knew Doritos had a sour cream and onion flavor, and evidently they loved it. And it's still in production in Japan. So they actually bought a bag of them from Japan and had it shipped, and it was like $25 for a bag of Doritos.
Better have some Kit Kats thrown in with that.
But no, they said it was delicious.
Strawberry wasabi ones are amazing.
Oh. That would be groovy. They had that. They did the Crystal Pepsi, which they said tasted like Pepsi without the mojo. That was suspiciously toy boat. It was in a clear plastic bottle, and it still had carbonation, and it was a twist off. So evidently, these people must have kept it in the back of the fridge, and the fridge never lost power or anything, and it just stayed good forever. Because a clear soda in a clear bottle traditionally will get skunked immediately, just like a beer will, because it's the sunlight, and that's why Sam Adams does dark bottles,
as well as 90% of everybody else,
except Corona and High Life. But I love High Life. You can't make me not love High. Feel free to pour you another glass of that if you're feeling dangerous.
Well, yes, actually.
So we've So what happened?
I'll contact AAA to tow my car and me home.
So what happened to the Darkness?
The band?
Yes, we're back to hair metal. Do they still play?
I think so, but I love their first two albums, and I know there's a third, but I haven't heard it. So
the only one I can. The only song I ever heard was "I Believe in a Thing Called Love." I never heard anything else.
You ever hear me karaoke it?
I haven't. Yeah. I think we need to remedy that.
Of course, anything karaoke's past your bedtime, so you need to work on that too.
Yeah, I don't think there's any karaoke that exists before sundown, except in Japan. Ironically enough, they have like karaoke. They take karaoke seriously over there.
That's gonna be a hell of a plane ride just to do that.
True. But with the time change, I'll actually be up because it will be night. It's still going to be a very expensive karaoke trip.
Yeah. Oh, well, I do what we can. Or, I don't know, O'Neill's is nearby if you're feeling dangerous.
I have not been there yet.
It looks like the Milestone, only not falling apart, so that's entertaining already.
Oh, what kind of stuff do they serve?
I'll get back to you on that.
Oh.
I'm new to the area. I just know, hey, there's this bar there. It's got a neon sign because, that's quality.
Yes. But I thought you went there. I've driven by there before, but I've never been inside either.
Yeah, my schedule's been a bit difficult. So,
Worser.
I've been surveying the area to see, hey, what's out and about, but haven't done anything yet.
It looks interesting from the outside. I don't know what I've never even checked the menu out.
I think it's like conventional pub food, if not Irish fare with a name like that.
All right, cool. Have you ever had Irish nachos?
The potatoes smuttered covered, and we swear this isn't Waffle House.
See?
Yeah.
That is so good. Every time we do this, I get hungry after a pot because I don't ever eat before I do this.
Whoops.
That's okay.
I had effectively a spinach hot pocket.
A spinach hot pocket?
It was flakier. It was kind of nice. So whatever a Wicked Kitchen stuffed sandwich is.
Where is that?
From that grocery store in Albemarle that's now closed. So the one place I know where to get it is no more.
Gotcha. Have you been to Witch yet?
Yeah, it's been forever. I went to one in Raleigh a long time ago and rather enjoyed it, but I've not been back to one, but would love to again.
It's hard to fuck up a sandwich.
And from the looks of it, if it gets fucked up, it's your fault.
Yeah.
It's the Mongolian Grill philosophy. If you don't like this, well...
You picked it.
Yeah. And that's why I stayed clear of the pork nose.
Ooh.
Wrong pick.
Oh. It picked up. Man, we're going all over the place today. That always sounds like Stewie's feet when he's walking.
So that's how they do
it. Probably. They did used to, like in the 70s in action movies, when people got hit or punched or generally slapped or anything, the sound effect was made by somebody taking a club to a stalk of celery, and it had that snap. That's how they did it. I forgot where I saw that from, but I know it's true, and I saw it on the TV set, so it has to be true.
Vanilli told you.
Ooh, I love you. Well, that's hair, but certainly not metal. By the way, how shitty would you be if you were at VH1 and you did the behind the music on Milli Vanilli, and after you did it, like a week later, Rob kills himself? I don't think you probably should have brought up those memories for Rob. Because Rob was the one who died. Fab was the one still alive. And they didn't actually have bad voices, but one of the Weather Girls, yes, those Weather Girls, and two men were actually the singers behind this. Now, it's Milli Vanilli's fault, but it's also... I wouldn't put my voice to somebody. I'd be like, no, I want the money. If I'm doing the singing and everything, I want to get famous and I want the money for it. Agreed? Yeah. And we went from hair metal to Milli Vanilli. I like this.
Sometimes you can't blame it on the rain.
It was falling down. So that was, Girl, You Know It's True, Blame It on the Rain. Baby, don't forget my number. You don't remember that one?
It's 299 something.
That's my phone number. Oops.
For a good time, call 980-299. 5309.
Just don't ask for Jenny. It's really annoying.
Too late.
Let's see. So,
damn you, two-tone.
So the Darkness maybe still plays. Steel Panther plays all the time.
Yeah, they've probably got 4 or 5 albums and a live album that was an acoustic set out of, quote, Lexi's mom garage.
Who's Lexi?
One of the dudes in the band.
That's okay. I went
with a pronorific name.
I went a different way with that.
And that's okay.
Speaking of pronorific names, our waitress friend at the Saucer now, Tia Ferrari. If you listen to this, shout out to you. That's a cool name. But if you were to tell somebody that name, I guarantee you I know of 2 professions they would think you did.
Dental hygienist and?
Bookkeeper at the local library.
After hours.
Ooh. I have a librarian fetish where one comes up with me. She has glasses and a ruler, and she pops my hand, and she says, "Do you know what the penalty is for an overdue library book?" And then you know what happens next.
You pony up 10 cents.
We didn't do it in the last episode, so I needed it. I thought about plugging it in there, but no, it's too artificial, man. It's got to be organic. Yeah. Organic like the food you should eat, not because 100 years ago, everybody ate organic, and they lived till died in childbirth. Steve has gotten me started. I haven't listened to the podcast yet, but last podcast on the left, the Facebook page. I don't know what in the hell is going on. I haven't listened to it yet, but
and you wondered what happens to the darkness.
Oh, that would be a podcast that if Reddit ran it. I feel like.
Yeah.
So
it is probably the darkest one in my newfound love of the oddly informative. So here, let's tell you about cults and mass murders and why the hell Kurt Cobain died at 27.
We already covered that. If you were married to Courtney Love, you would too. Oh, make me over. I'm all I want to be.
I'm not Courtney loving it.
Ugh. I'm not going to look at McDonald's the same way now. You McBastard.
You have been prior?
Emmy doesn't like McDonald's. We don't go there that much when we want fast and cheap. I like McDonald's. I don't mind them. I didn't know that their fries had beef seasoning.
How else do they make them so addictive?
They're really good. They're really, really good.
To quote Mo Rocca from I Love the 80s, 1983 episode, I've been freebasing McNuggets since 1983. I've been eating them so long, they were in styrofoam containers back in the day.
I remember those.
Because these paper boxes are bullshit.
They really are. Shout out to the guy who gives you an extra nugget when they give you the extra one.
That or the occasional Siamese nugget.
Siamese nuggets are great, but I like the extra one because I feel like they did that because they really care or that they can't count. Either way's fine by me.
What was that Bryson trip? The Bryson trip we had years ago that we wound up at McDonald's super drunk and we just bottom out of all the remaining food in the restaurant.
Yeah, we did.
That was awesome.
Yes. Well, we wanted to eat cheaply, but we didn't want to just go sit down somewhere because Bryson City's decent for food. But
this is also at about 9:01 p.m., so everything else would have been closed as we're hoofing it up to the hotel.
Yes, we need to go do that trip again before November. I got to look up their Trail Magic. So Nantahala Brewing Company in Bryson City does a Trail Magic release sale, and I think we covered this before, but it's three times a year, something like that. It's always a different style. And we always try to go up there to do their beer swap meet and everything and get completely shit-housed on a million different kinds of beer and then wake up the next day and soak it all up with nice, healthy eggs.
Iron skillet.
Iron skillet's so good. It's hard to fuck breakfast up, though. I thought it would be fun to open a breakfast restaurant. That's easy food.
The hours would be no different for you.
Not for me, no. I just open 6 to 2 p.m. Close at 2. Just like the filling station up there. They have the same hours. They are only open for breakfast and lunch, which is perfect.
Oh, and Bryson, wait, here around the corner?
Oh, not
Jimmy's?
Jimmy's is good.
So I've been there yet.
No, it's very good. We've only been for breakfast.
My parents' outlaw seem to like it since their house will be ready the end of next month.
I thought it was supposed to be ready this month. Snag.
Sure. Whatever's holding up the pool from being built, too.
Did Holmes come over and say everything was not to code? We didn't meet him, but we saw him at Books A Million. He was having a book signing thing.
What, the Canada?
Well, he was down here from Canada, which is the state right above Montana.
Wait, how can that be? It's a state just above Vermont.
Vermontana. Cheese and deer.
Ooh, sounds good to me.
Ooh,
yes,
Steve. I listened to Joe Rogan, and he had I think his name was Mike Hunter. Oh, Mike Hunt. Let me see what his real name was.
Mike Hunter.
Mike Hunter. Let me see what his actual name was. His last name was Hunter, which is hysterical when I tell you what I'm going to tell you.
That's almost as good as NC State's football coach back in the day was Mike O'Kane.
I knew I had it right. It was Michael Hunter. All right. So anyway, this is this guy named Michael Hunter. He's a chef in L.A. proper, and he had a sign up on the outside of his restaurant, and it was clearly a joke. Everybody knew it was a joke. 99.9% of people knew it was a joke. And it says, venison is the new kale. So they serve deer there now. And they take pride. They have, it's not mass produced. It's not farm raised. Everything's, grass fed, all that good stuff. So it's a more expensive restaurant, but people will pay extra for that. And so he had that up there. And then some guy went by and he was vegan, which means he was a vegan Nazi. And just created that name. So the vegan Nazi comes by and he goes inside and he's like, I want to speak to your owner, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, it's like, that's a disrespectful and I demand you take it down. He's like, no. So the guy comes back and then protests start. So they have like these people picketing outside. He's like, I didn't really mind it. It was 2 or 3 people with signs up. He goes, well, then their crowds start to grow to like 10 or 20. And they had megaphones and they were screaming at my patrons when they're coming in. We have to call the police to defuse the situation. He said, so the other day I got tired of it. And so this guy, there's a window table. Well, they take the table away and they put a bigger table in front of it. And he takes half a deer and butchers it right the fuck in front of all the people who are protesting. And it is glorious. He's just sitting there. They're just carrying on and yelling at him. He's a murderer. And he's just sitting there whistling Dixie, just cutting that fucking deer up. It is brilliant. And I love it. And it looks like he's...
Is that the newest episode?
Yeah. Yeah, he's recording one right now.
Okay, well, there's episode 1105, it's the most recent one on the feed, so I guess I know what I'm listening to tonight.
Michael Hunter, yeah, it's great. You just sit there. You can actually watch the video, guys. He's just sitting there cutting up a deer, and it's fantastic. Why are vegans like that? Vegans are like Christians. I mean, to me, like, they want you to join their club. Well, if you're happy, do what you want to do. Be happy doing what you're doing. Why are you trying to make your fan club even higher?
Well, their recruitment strategy is not working very well.
I would say a lot of their a lot of sides' recruitment strategies aren't working so well. I'm with Ron White. I did not climb to the top of the food chain to eat lettuce.
At least eat spinach is better for you.
I don't do a good Popeye. That sounds like Mr. Krabs.
I can only do a Dave Coulier.
So Alanis Morissette and he were they married, or were they just like an item?
I ought to know, but I don't.
Ugh, how ironic.
I don't think.
That comment really has me head over feet.
So what if you fall?
Thank you. The lyrics to that song always bothered me because you're always head over feet. You're supposed to say head over heels, right?
Lost in translation in Canada. Do you know that she was in You Can't Do That on Television?
Yes, I did, from last episode.
I don't remember these things.
I have to.
Were you taking notes?
No, I have to listen to us talk.
That's nonsense. The CIA's already doing it. The computers are already doing it. None of this matters.
I love Bill Burr's.
Hi, CIA.
Have you listened to Bill Burr talk about Alexa? And it's so great.
No, but he is my favorite angry ginger.
Oh,
Wait, can he still be when he's bald now?
He's still ginger.
Okay.
You can't take the ginger out just because you shave your head.
I want sushi. Ginger?
Let's do sushi.
Okay.
Right now?
All right, guys. See you later.
Sushi delivery. You could probably actually... I'm sure Foodie Call would deliver. I think they deliver from anywhere. If you call...
Or the strangely named Postmates. Like, why isn't that a service that just picks up your mail?
That I was going to say, that sounds like a mail order bride service.
I'm like, why isn't Living Social a social network instead of a Groupon competitor?
I thought that was a TV show with 4 black women. Oh, that's Living Single. That was a very obscure reference. By the way, I got my hair cut the other day. The other day, like a month and a half ago. It's really fucking long now.
Which one?
And there was a really nice black lady. She's always there. She usually cuts my hair. And In Vogue came on. And I started pantomiming the words, and she goes, "You don't know the words to this." And I sat there and sang the rest of "Never Gonna Get It" to her. She goes, "How in the hell do you know that?" I'm like, "I'm the youngest of 4. My sisters listen to this. B, it's a good song. C, they were all really fucking hot. I'm down with the swirl. What can I say?"
How very cosmopolitan of you.
We decided at work that when a white guy has a threesome with 2 black women, it's called an ice cream sandwich.
Oreo. Oh, excuse me as I stretch for that one.
How's the maple treating you?
Real fine.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait to mix it.
Step this down to the Sam Adams for the next thing.
You don't want to mix?
I'll totally do that, too.
Yeah, we'll do the mix of... I'm mixing the...
It's not dark yet. I'm not slurring too badly on this here stuff, man.
English is speak becoming hardness.
That's such a magnificent butchering of the English language.
That was from the oatmeal. If you don't know what that is, you should. It's brilliant. I have How to Tell If Your Cat is Plotting to Kill You poster up on my studio wall. And it's, for one of our cats, it's absolutely appropriate, which is funny because it's the same color. You noticed that too, huh? Zara loves. She just only loves me.
She merely tolerates others at best.
Yes. Well, the cats love Emily too, but they're daddy's girls, I will say. And I kind of want a white kitten now, so I have the entire grayscale. And then I'll be done, probably. Maybe. Probably.
I mean, otherwise you have to get a Vanta black cat, and that's not going to be ready for 10 years.
I already did. You didn't see her?
No.
Damn it, Woodhouse. Woodhouse is... the guy who did his voice died in 5 years ago. It's been a while. 2 years ago? I thought it was longer than that. 2 or 3?
It was 3.
What was his name?
George Coe. And apparently he was on the original season of Saturday Night Live as well.
Wow, really?
Which...
Like as a cast member?
I'll get back to you on that. I remember seeing him, and like that was one of his credits when he did pass away. And that would have been in 75 versus 15, so he would have been 46 of getting 86 at 86, because I remember telling that to one of Jess's coworkers, and she punched me. I rather enjoyed that joke.
And that punch.
That too.
I have...
It wasn't Hawaiian. She now lives in Wilmington.
Brilliant town. I believe I could live in Wilmington.
It's a nice place to be born, apparently.
You would know.
I should. Lived there till I was 2, so I was like, it's like, well, here's ostensibly where I'm from.
Ask your mother if she still has your journal. It's in there somewhere.
Yes, what a fine place to spend your first 23 months.
The first season of Saturday Night Live, the first 2 episodes, my mom has on VHS, and we used to watch it because I'm old too. And I believe it was...
those would have had to be reruns because VHS didn't take hold until...
Definitely. It was definitely reruns, yeah.
Of course, now everything's online or DVDs or whatever have you. Rest in peace, CISO, that had the entire archive of SNL and Monty Python on it, among other comedic things. I think most of those properties wound up on Hulu. Mm-hmm. Oh. But it was a really amazing platform that... was here today, gone yesterday.
I may have misspoke. I don't know if it was the first or second episode, but it was definitely the first season of SNL because the guests were Richard Pryor and Lily Tomlin, and they were really great because John Belushi used to do Samurai Hotel, and it was so great because all he did was stand behind the hotel desk, and anytime somebody tried to talk to him, he just... spoke fake Japanese and then took his sword out and chopped whatever they had on the desk.
We're slashing prices here at the Samurai Hotel.
Because that was when Chevy Chase was on there, John Belushi. Who else? It was Gilda Radner. Very old school. Very old school.
Yeah, because the show opened with George Carlin talking about baseball versus football.
It was brilliant. Certain jokes hold up better. All of Carlin's material always holds up really well. To a point, Eddie Murphy's from the 80s when he had the red leather jacket on. To a point, that does too if you ignore the red leather jacket.
If you ignore the homophobia as well.
Yeah, well, Bill Maher had something.
It is a product of its era, though.
Yeah, Bill Maher has a new rule about that, and he says you can't eradicate everything that happened in the past. Of course, it was a different time. He goes, imagine 25 years from now, what we're doing right now that's not going to be socially acceptable. There's probably going to be a fair amount of things that are not going to be socially acceptable. This is how it is. This is supposed to be cars, bars, and guitars, isn't it?
Comedy.
Hell yeah.
Ish. Yeah.
So Steve's rocking the NPR shirt in memory of Carl Castle.
It was the first clean thing on the stack too, but yes.
Hey, we could just go with it, okay? Steve's out of booze, so I think we might have to remedy that.
Yeah, I think it's about high time to break out the experiment.
Yee, I like where this is going. Giggity. Giggity.
I'd say we could keep the folks in suspense, but in a minute in podcast time, they're going to know anyway just what this is going to be.
The magic of editing.
What's next, a blooper reel?
All right, so Steve and
I'm eating on mic, sorry.
That's okay. He won't smack his lips while he's snacking on his lips.
No, I'm just going to be gnashing my teeth.
So we're going to give this a shot. We're going to tell you what it is shortly after I get it poured and we get it mixed. It's actually, the level of our genius is astounding sometimes. So we're going to mix this knob. As soon as I bought the Knob Creek Maple, got it home, and I texted Steve. I was like, do you have any of X beer left? And he said, why, yes, I do. I said, bring it to podcasting day. So
I'm glad I was right.
Yeah.
Oh, of course, I've got another local one that would have done the trick as well in much more substantial quantity.
What was the other one?
The Birdsong Honey Pie.
You think the honey pie would mix with the maple? Honey and maple? I guess it would. Yeah. You debonair connoisseur of all things maple, you.
It's Kaylin's favorite beer, therefore we've got quite a few of them floating around the house.
Indeed. Well, we're going to mix this lovely Knob Creek smoked maple bourbon with Noda's Hopcakes, because it's a double IPA with maple syrup.
Now, what is the beer, AJ? But when is the beer, AJ?
Well, Steve, it's your beer. You tell the people.
This would be last year's model from February of 2017.
Hey-o.
This may be the last can from when I bought a case of it. And at the time, many of us were at the bar, so we built a fort made of beer cans with the stuff.
Yes, we did.
Next time around, I'd run out of beer storage, so I bought a couple of 4-packs.
Last time I went, actually, it was the Hopcakes release last year, and we, that is why you wanted it, kind of.
It is now.
Last year, the lovely lady who was there managing, I was like, hey, who does the booking? She's like, I do. I'm like, awesome. I've been trying to get booked here for years and years and years. Enhance. And couldn't get booked. And then she was like, okay, are you available September 1st? Yes, we are. And so I was so happy that day and drunk. I went home with $140 worth of hopcakes. All right.
They'd eventually pay you back to play there.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. Now Will's in charge of booking, and he is from San Diego, which is where I'll be going in less than 1 month. I cannot wait. I've never been to California. Always wanted to go to California. Shake and bake, United States. Here I come. So, Steve, on the toasted Knob Creek Maple with Noda hopcakes. Cheers.
Yep.
That will do. The finish. Oh. By the way, Noda, well, you know what? I was going to say sorry, but I know some people, you shouldn't mix beer, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, I mean, I don't think they're going to care that much. We did make a Boilermaker out of Fat Boy one time from Old Mac.
Holy shit, that's going to be a strong Boilermaker.
That was a strong Boilermaker. Ugh. That was a meet your Boilermaker.
It was chicken, though.
Ooh.
Wrong meat.
I want some chicken wings now. Every time we do this, I want chicken wings.
You too.
Yes. It is the perfect food. We got some pretty good chicken wings at work now, too. Mm-hmm. They're not bad.
Are they made of real lion?
Yes. But not Cecil, so they're not quite as tasty.
Hey, do what you can.
Yeah. All right, that's a good combination. We're going to have to... I met the head brewer at Noda, and for the life of me... Yes.
He used to be a saucer regular before he got married to the job. Yeah, it was somewhere in the midst of him starting to work with Noda that he was no longer a regular at the saucer because he's busy making weird and wonderful beers there.
Yeah, I believe I don't think he's your age, but I think he's older than me, so I think he's in between us. But we were talking to him during our break because he said his dad's a musician. And we were talking about that and talking about the joys of it. And I was like, well, you've got to have just one of the coolest jobs ever. Just real cool guy. I mean, you've met the guy. He's really cool. But he said, he goes, I love the job. I love it. He goes, but I did pay my dues. He said, let me tell you, when we first hit it, because he said it was just the two owners, and
the Fords.
Yes. I knew it was car related. I just couldn't remember what. But he had
Susie and Mercury Ford.
They, you know what? They really like us. And she came by and she's like, you guys play the music I love. Keep it up. I'm like, if the owners of the place love you, then everything else doesn't really matter. But I digress. He was saying that when they first started taking off, because it wasn't a slow. To me, it wasn't slow. It was like, oh, it's open. New brewery's open. Boom, big brewery. I mean, just huge. He said his longest work day was 72 hours straight of just brewing and cleaning. And he said he would like go to the back room and lay down for 30 minutes and get back up and go back to work. He and the Fords both. They had to just keep churning out product, and I'm in awe of how far they've come. Birdsong, like the Birdsong's build, they wouldn't tell me how much they paid for that new building that they moved into from. Everybody remembers the OG Birdsong building.
Because it was next door to old Noda, and now you have Birdsong move south and Noda move northward to No Try.
Yes.
It's close enough. Like, yeah, it's not in North Davidson anymore. It's like, no, but you want to find a big enough warehouse on Davidson, you'd have to build it or retrofit that old factory building that's been closed forever that's eventually become apartments. That was a running gag with Jason and me back in the day, passing by it. Hey, when's this finally going to become condos? Well, 12 years later, they're finally working on it.
Well, that's a start. This is the old 485 mantra. Let's start it, and then 25 years later, oh, it's done. Yay.
Yeah, it makes the commute into work easier.
That it does. That it does. I don't think there should be, in a loop road that's connected like that, I don't think there should be a speed limit. Make it 100. Make the speed limit 100. I'll be okay with that.
I'm going to need a faster car.
Nah, it'll get up to... The Jeep can go 100. Ask me how I know.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, it will go 100.
Did the tire smoking teach you nothing?
That's true.
You do not give actual speeds. You'll only give clock cycles.
Did you see one of the last one takes that Farrah did? I know you didn't watch a whole lot of them, but he was... I don't remember the exact speed, but they were going through the canyons, and Matt Farrah was like, this thing's pretty fast. Is the speedo accurate? He goes, yeah, we're going about 80. He's like, don't say that.
Kilometers?
Yeah, absolutely. What's the exchange rate on that?
Roughly 0.6.
Okay. So next time I'll just tell the officer.
So that said, on a track of sorts, I've gotten my car up to 170 kms. On a
KM. Your spouse. By the way, I am exceedingly happy that you found her. She is quite literally perfect for you. It's, dare I say, worth it? Worth all the hubbub?
All the predecessors?
Yes.
Oof. Yes.
Absolutely.
Hey, by then, I guess it was well rehearsed.
Well, I maintain.
I know the me that people are looking for now.
I maintain.
I hope.
I maintain that Emily's the luckiest out of all of us. And it's not because she's with me and I think that highly of myself. She didn't give her...
lie to the people.
She didn't give her heart to anybody but me. She never had her heart broken. We've had our heart broken more times than we've had a beer. That's a lot. So I maintain she's lucky in that aspect. Albeit she's not as picky, I guess. Or she is picky, but I don't understand. I like the way I look and how I am, but I'm me, so I will. I don't understand why you would gravitate towards that and not any other male specimen in this side. You know what? I'm not going to question it. I love you, honey. I didn't hear a response.
Totally soundproof.
It's fine. That's kind of my fault.
She can't hear you over murder television or whatever's going on.
That is true. If I really do ever make her mad, nobody will find my body. Although it'll probably mixed up in some sort of spaghetti chicken mashup.
Has she seen the Scott Tenorman episode of South Park? Also notable because that was my brother's Xbox handle.
Oh, that's so great.
Mike, you genius.
Let's see. What was your AOL Instant Messenger handle?
I had several, and my favorite one I can remember right now was the Muppets on Acid. Another I love the 80s reference because that was what somebody called Fraggle Rock. So I named it the Muppets on Acid.
Erin Kelly, did you see her post today? Because she's dating that hairdresser, or I think he does hair. His name's Ace.
He's still straight?
Very, yeah. Oh, they're super duper happy. They're like perfect for each other. If you looked at them, you would go, oh, that makes total sense.
So he's got a few tat threes as well.
He has quite a bit more than me or Amber. Amber, take two. Erin does. But she said in response to me showing him Fraggle Rock, he said, "Oh, now I know why people get stoned and watch this."
Dozers, man.
Didn't he sing Somebody I Used to Know? Oh, that was Hozier.
Gautier.
Who was Hozier? Oh, that was Take Me to Church. Take Me to Church, I'll worship like a dog at the shrine of your lies. You remember that song?
I know what you're talking about.
It's about gay marriage.
That was
Yep.
Huh.
Emily calls me the song ruiner. Because she'll be singing along to something, and she knows all the words, and she sings it, and she doesn't know it means what it actually means. Like, she used to sing The One I Love. Like, we would be playing The One I Love from REM, and she'd be singing it back to me, looking at me. I was like, honey, that's not a love song. She goes, it's not? I said, no, it's a fuck you song. She goes, are you sure? It's like, oh, yeah. This one goes out to the one I love, to the one I left behind, a simple prop to occupy my time. And she's like, oh. And then Better Man from Pearl Jam. Same, like, I think it was Jeff Ament's mother was married to a guy that beat him, and that was about that. So she calls me the song ruiner.
If it's not you, you should have to look it up.
True. But I have to know what... some songs are like...
Sometimes the life's not so semi-charmed.
That is true. A lot of those songs are easy to decipher, though. But like my main man, Chris Cornell's song lyrics were often cryptic. So you could make those songs about whatever situation you were in. And then other songs are exactly... I don't think anybody looks at Van Halen and go Hot for Teacher and goes, I think this is really the play on the economic status between... I don't think anybody does that. Like,
really, it's an Oedipus complex because his mom's a teacher.
Motherfucker. God damn it, I drooled everywhere. Oh, Lord.
What'd you call this thing here? The spit guard for the microphone?
It is now. Oh, man, that's different.
You had that bad.
Wow. But no, yeah, certain songs you know what they're about, and then other songs you listen to and you don't know what they're about, and then you listen back, you listen to them deeply. Are there any... I haven't figured out your main genre yet, because I was thinking today that you listen to a lot of like punk, like a lot of punk, 80s, 90s punk, and some more obscure 90s. Maybe not like the Eels obscure, but
funny you mention that, because the first time I heard the Eels was when I was first in California back in '96, which is way cooler to say than I heard Lou Bega when I was in Germany before that infected the airwaves here.
I assume it was Novocaine for the Soul.
Correct.
Okay. If somebody had a gun to my head...
It's either that or Your Lucky Day in Hell.
Okay, I didn't know they did that one. I've heard of that song, but I was going to say, if somebody said, you have to name another Eels song or you're going to die, I'd be like, just make it quick. I don't know. I'm trying to think of other songs that have...
That said, an eel does make good sushi as well.
I have had it, not straight. I've had it mixed in with things. I don't think I've actually tried it by itself.
It goes good with teriyaki. You'll be all right.
Gotcha.
Good news. Now it tastes more like fish.
Oh, well then I'm in.
Just not with a pH.
Yeah.
That'll just be acerbic.
They're a modern day Grateful Dead.
Without the talent.
Without the talent.
I played their more or less best of from 74 with Skeletons from the Closet. Mm-hmm. A lot. This is back in the middle school era because I had a friend who was a big Deadhead, and well, what can I say? St. Stephen made the cut.
I was told by a lot of Deadheads that, oh man, sometimes they would go off on tangents in jam band style. They would play 20 minutes straight, but they said, man, 1 in 3 shows would be the best show you ever saw. So like the Deadhead saying was 1 in 3, man. 1 in 3. I'm like, that's a lot of money to pay for 2 shit shows and 1 good one. I think the worst. What was the worst concert? A lot of people do the best.
American Hi-Fi.
That was the worst concert you ever been to?
Yes.
Gotcha.
It was already a one-hit wonder, but...
One more hit than I have.
Well, maybe you can have flavors a bit more than the Weekly. But that was the most uninspired band on stage to do fuck nothing at one of the Weenie Roasts.
The first concert I went to was the Weenie Roast. I think it was 8. This was 2003.
The one I went to was in 01.
Okay, it was pre-me.
September 15th, 2001.
Wow.
Large gathering of people, and then look up in the sky. Is it a bird? Is it Superman? No, it's a plane, because flights have been grounded for a few days surrounding that. So we're looking up at this like we've never seen one of these things before.
I could imagine there was probably some tension in the audience.
Everyone's surprisingly chilled out then at the time.
Well, how much weed? Well, it was a Weenie Roast.
Yeah.
Well, who played besides American Hi-Fi?
Oddly enough, Nickelback was there before they completely went down the toilet. So that would have been the State era. So that is the one defensible thing I can offer from them. But that was so long ago that, yeah, don't go see them now because it's going to be a carbon copy of itself.
Silver Side Up was not a terrible album. But anything
got overplayed into the ground.
Absolutely.
That laid the groundwork for them just being a copy of a copy of a copy.
Yeah.
The Crystal Method played that show.
How was that?
Pretty triptastic, and seeing as that was in my industrial phase, that was fine.
How was Diet 9 Inch Nails?
Oddly enough, the same stage I saw 9 Inch Nails thrice many years later.
Interesting.
But not the band Thrice, because that's not my thing for Screamo.
I'm not a Screamo guy. No, I'm not a Screamo guy. Who headlined that Weenie Roast that you went to?
It was kind of a joint headline between them and
Dig Deeply.
Let me just keep drawing a blank.
Dig Deeply. Weenie Roast. I remember the lineup I went to because my ex-girlfriend Courtney at the time, while Steve's looking that up, we saw. All right, it was Social Burn. Do you remember who Social Burn is?
Nope.
All right, they had a song called Break Me Down. It was Tell Me How Does It Feel When It Comes to You and All the Things You Say to Me. You make me feel like nothing when you break me down. Social Burn played. They had 2 songs called That One and You. Actually a decent band, but they suffered from every other band that didn't make it out there. It was the post-grunge, modern alt metal scene. Smile Empty Soul was the same way. But Social Burn played, and then Eve 6 played, and then Seven Dust, Trapped, and Stained. So that's actually a pretty good show.
It would have been funnier if you just had a band that had 8 in it, then a band that had 9 in it.
No, that was actually a really good show.
Yeah, Eve 6 was good, and Seven Dust, I played a lot of my angrier youth.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to LaJohn Witherspoon. I was listening to
The man loved his Honda Pilot.
I was listening to it when DJ still worked for me. DJ's my brother, my literal brother. No, you know what? He's black. Okay.
Anyway. Don't think you understand what literal means.
My actual brother is literally my brother from another mother. DJ's just my brother who happens to be black. I was listening to Seven Dust one day. He said, "What are you listening?" He said, "I like that." I was like, "Seven Dust." He said, "I don't know who that is." I was like, "Check out their lead singer." Big black dude with dreads. I'm like, "That's their lead singer." I'm like, "Oh, I like this." I was like, "I figured you would." we missed Stained because I had to take the girl I was dating at the time went to the North Carolina School of the Arts in Winston-Salem, and we went to the concert, and I had to take her home. So I drove from there to Winston-Salem to drop her off, and then I went back home and went to school the next day. So I was 17, she was 16. That was a long time ago. And actually, I stopped at Waffle House on the way home, and the waitress wanted to take me home, and I was 17, and she was ugly.
Don't you say that about Betty?
Oh, Black Betty.
They're all named Betty.
Did you see the Facebook woman? The woman's name was Pam Balam, and she's like, "Please stop messaging me, oh Black Betty." Did you find it?
No.
Are you looking for it?
I think.
Because it looks
this is rubbish.
I was gonna say it looks like you're looking at a classified ad from the 1930s.
The Gastonia Gaston Gazette, the Triple G for those in the know. Once you become a member to look up.
The Triple G. You think they call it that? I don't think they call it that.
Well, they're missing an easy branding opportunity, aren't they?
This is really good. This is a really good mashup. But Steve has to go to work. But I don't have to go. I don't go to work at 6:30, and that's arguably worse.
You still have your evenings free, sort of. I mean, back when I had to go to work at 6, I'd still stay out till 2 in the morning and then just drag in doing nothing in the morning. But somehow would still do stuff. Like, at least then I could, stay on about a bit later than, here's work at 10. Well, having to duck out at 9:30 is quite the party pooper.
Well, Brad tells me I'm his hero. He's like, are you playing tomorrow? I was like, yeah. He's like, do you work tomorrow morning? Or tonight? Are you playing tonight? Yes. You work tomorrow morning? Yes. He goes, you're my hero. How do you do it? I was like, well, here's the thing. When you're doing something that involved, you're awake for it. You're not tired during it. Now, the next day, here's the thing about me. 4 hours of sleep. If I get up, I go to work, I'm fine. But about noon, about lunchtime, I kind of start to drag a little bit. But I feel like you and I are the Bert Kreischer part 2 and 2A. I feel like we're the machine also. We party it up, but we also go to work and we're...
I don't see what's going on here. I work with a shirt on.
And I will continue to also work. But, well, you and I both look better without a shirt on than he does. And he still manages to take his shirt off. But I still love the guy. Like, by the way, Tom Segura's impression of Bert Kreischer is... Actually, Tom Segura's impressions of anybody is on point. But he does a great Bert Kreischer. Or as they call him, Burnt Chrysler. Have you seen where they take teachers doing English as a second language, and they're teaching them to say Bert Kreischer is fat in English, but it's like a bunch of Asian kids or a bunch of Hungarian kids, and they're like, Bert is fat, and the little kids go, Bert is fat, and they show it to Bert, and Bert loves it. Are you looking at the Weenie Roast lineups?
It's got the O2, but some of this does look familiar.
What was the O2? Nickelback,
Nickelback Filter, Default, Our Lady Peace, SR-71, Does, Andrew WK, Butch Walker, Goldfinger, Berlin, Green Wheel, and Epidemic. I've even heard of a few of these. I would love to see Berlin.
I would have liked to seen Our Lady Peace, but I
did see them, I think, summer 2000 at Amos's.
Yeah, was it good?
Yeah, except for me having a whole string of suicidal thoughts in my head, so that wasn't good.
That happens.
Weird shit you do when you're 18.
Yeah, that's true. But Our Lady Peace, he I don't know if he's taking care of his voice because they still tour, and he doesn't sound quite as sprightly as he used to. But that's what age does.
He always kind of had this thing to his voice.
That's not healthy to do, I'll say.
Yeah.
But we're covering the song Clumsy now.
Ooh.
And it's a lot of fun to play. But the thing is, like, you have to... I've been doing a lot of vocal training the last month.
There's no one laughing.
I've been doing a lot of vocal training the last month to pace myself and be able to save my voice so I'm not. It's mind blowing. If anybody out there who's listening, if you're a singer, check out Eric Arsenault's page. I believe it's spelled Arcineaux, Arsenault, but he's a great voice teacher.
Arcanaux.
Yeah, something like that.
The page is fire.
It's great. It's great. It's a night and day difference in my voice. And I took vocal lessons last year too. But you kind of do what.
So are you more Tom Cruise or Cameron Diaz now?
Cameron Cruise. Tom Diaz sounds like a guy that sells hats on the street corner. That's
It's a good hat, man.
I need another
I'm
hat
wearing it right now.
The hat I've been wearing is from New Orleans, and it is just disgusting now because I haven't washed it, and it's had a lot of show sweat. So I need a casual hat, and I'll wear the show hat to shows because it'll get ruined.
Buy a bunch of $6 fedoras.
Yeah, it's true. That one was only $20. That was $25.
Oh, I told you that shop in University area. You can find them for $8.
True.
I don't know if they'll hold up as well, but the price is right.
Thanks, Bob.
It's Gabe.
I want a blue one, and I also want to do. All right, I'm going to ask your opinion.
Okay.
Since we need to take this podcast to full circle here.
That is the way the tire rolls.
I'm going to keep the S2000 for a long while. After seeing multiple people say, "Oh yeah, I just sold my Nismo 370Z and I'm back in an S2000. I just sold my Corvette and I'm back in an S2000. I just sold my X. It doesn't matter what car it is, and I just bought another S2000.
An X6. Woof.
Ugh. I'm going to keep it for a while, and I already feel like I know what you're going to say, but I'm going to ask you anyway because I asked some of the S2000 guys. So I want to do something different with the interior. So I'm going to do
blue leather.
I want to either do I want to do blue cloth. I want the cloth seats. I'm not a leather guy.
That wasn't sold in the U.S. with
the only cloth seats were the CR seats, which
is the top spec model that is the car you'd really rather have. So if you didn't have this, you'd have that.
This was all right. For anybody who doesn't know, I'm gonna show Steve the picture. That was the CR cover. So it was that pale yellow insert. They were all cloth seats. You don't like that, do you?
That's.
You don't like it?
The pale yellow, no. If that's not being spread on a bratwurst, I do not want to see that color.
There's the. I like it, but it's either that
you're free to make your own mistakes.
Which, by the way, those seats, since CRs are rare, and the seats themselves from Honda, they still make. You can still get them. They're very expensive. They're going for about
or something. Now?
You know what? They're going for You know what? Let's just call it what it is. They're going for $1,500 used together.
For a pair. Okay,
but I'm not dropping $1,500 on a car I drive. For seats in a car I drive 1.5 times a month. So it's either that or I'm gonna buy because my seats are in good shape. My black leather seats are in really good shape. I thought about buying some really ratted out black seats and getting them recovered in like a dark blue cloth material, either that or black cloth with blue stitching.
Alcantara.
Yes,
just to make sure that the stuff wears badly after a month.
But I get the idea is to get like the black seats with blue stitching and maybe blue inserts, and then have
just get some neoprene seat covers, same diff,
and then blue stitching in the door panels and the shift boot. Just have like a subtle blue. I'm strongly considering that, and I'm trying to find an appropriate picture of that.
So it's gonna be a denim blue or a Panthers blue, a sky blue.
You get the idea, blue. But something like that. You dig?
Huh? Are you gonna get the variable leg seat bolsters too?
Those are Recaros, and no, I will not. There's a guy who did black and blue interior, and it looked really good. Actually, that one took it further. He did blue carpet too. That's still pretty sexy. I like because the silver ones in mine came either black and red or black. They never came black and blue. But I really like the blue. I think blue and silver look really good together.
Uh-huh.
I think Steve's in agreement with me. I think it's blue. But I like cloth seats better. They hold you in better. They're easier to clean. They
don't burn you. They don't freeze you.
Yes. All of that stuff. So I'm thinking about going to a really nice cloth, not like the mouse down Civic seats from '94, but like a nice cloth blue interior. So I think I'm going to do something like that. Blue stitching everywhere. I dig. Steve's going to keep the Ponyoda for a little while too, because it's boss.
Yeah, it is paid for, and it's still leaking the same amount of oil, and still starts and runs and goes.
Where's it leaking from?
Main valve seal,
rear main. The rear main seal or the valve seals? Because valve seals will burn oil. Valve seals burn oil. They don't leak oil.
It was rear main. I don't know. It's been a while, and it was a cord every 3,000 to 5,000 miles. This isn't any amount of money bothering me.
Okay.
Beyond the $3 for a cord of, what am I running, 5W30 in it or whatnot?
It's 5.
I think so. It was I think a thin synth blend that's in it.
Because Emily's
I know it still starts and runs and gets 30-ish miles to the gallon. The paint's falling off of it. Whatever.
Doesn't matter. Aesthetics don't matter for dailies, because that's another reason I didn't want to upgrade the daily from episode whatever.
That said, I did find more XT Subies.
If the occasion arose, I would casually look for one, but I would actively look for another 2-wheel drive 5-speed Jeep Cherokee.
Somebody had a red Outback XT.
Red?
Like maroonish reddish.
Okay,
yeah.
not a red, not red.
Yeah, like reddish.
Okay, that would be. You know what? I saw an early '90s 4-door Benz in red, and that looked really, really good.
It
was an E-Class.
The last of the 190Es and the C-Class of that era could be had in red fairly easily.
I think it was an E.
Okay.
Because it had headlight wipers.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure, Kraut car enthusiasts don't kill me, but I'm pretty sure you couldn't get headlight wipers on C-Class. It was just E.
That sounds right.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was the very E-Class and Saab 9000 sort of thing to do.
Mm-hmm. I'd rather have the Saab, though, for non-pretentious purposes.
You want your parts to be made of unobtainium? Like, all right, so here's your Saab, and here's your garage with 6 more of them for parts.
True, but I feel like a hard-to-find part would be cheaper than a most likely going to break part. That was Mitsubishi Starion syndrome, which I had a nice casual talk with a guy on the Malays, or was it Radwood? I don't remember which Facebook page, but I had a nice chat with a guy.
The time frames overlap, so that makes for lots of Facebook candy.
The Radways?
Go on.
I like this.
Madwood.
Madwood. That's not what that's when you hate fuck somebody, when you have Madwood. Holy. It was a good looking color though. Like that really, it was a bright red without being a shouty bright red. It was just a really, you know what color I'm talking about. They might not.
I don't know which fears to be tearful of.
Somebody posted it was on, I think it was Radwood, and it was like, you seen Elf on a Shelf, but have you seen? And it was Jeremy Clarkson sitting on a 355 Spider, and I put Jezza on a Fezza, and I got it right.
Oh, okay. Like, I wasn't familiar with Fezza. I saw the picture. I was like, isn't it picking up what's going on here?
Yep, Jezza on a Fezza, and mine was the top comment, and then another guy put a...
Geezer on a Feezer.
They should have. That's not on there. Shit, that was. I'll pull it up later. I don't care that much. No, I'm gonna keep it for a while, and I'm gonna keep the Jeep.
You're wearing jeans. Get off that car, mate. You're gonna scratch it.
I think they said that Levi's sent him an email saying, "Hey, can you wear something that's not jeans all the time? You're giving us a bad name." And he says, what if I just email them saying they need to pay me money or I'll keep wearing them? And James May goes, that's called extortion. Thomas's dad is like James May, except angrier and older.
And probably more litigious because he is, in fact, a lawyer, yes?
He is. He is.
How's the Jag?
Very good. And since his dad's not going to listen to this, would you like to hear a funny story?
What is the alleged top speed of that car?
Well, here's the funny part as I sip my maple Meritage. So I believe they went on a cruise. They were somewhere out of the country.
You can't take a Jag on the cruise, or at least you shouldn't.
Well,
You know what the cabin storage fee is going to be for that?
yes.
Anyway,
They went on a cruise and they were like, well, Thomas, can you come down and stay at the house, watch the dog, make sure the house is okay? Yeah, he said okay. So he went down there. His dad has some sort of early 2000s vintage XK8 convertible Jag. That's how you say it.
nice Ford. Anyway,
Pretty much.
Yeah,
He's meticulous about. He knows everything about it, and he always keeps it spotless and clean and blah, blah, blah. Evidently, though, he doesn't check the mileage, because Thomas is like, I'm going to take this to the mountains. So he drives from Albemarle, North Carolina, to the mountains and drives a lot of the North Carolina part of the Blue Ridge Parkway in top down in the Jag. They never tells his dad. Drives it back home, make sure it's parked in the same place.
gas is at the full.
Everything's
level.
the same,
All
and his
right.
dad never found out. Now, I would, because I know what the mileage of my car is, but it's not a big deal if I don't, because Emily can't drive a manual transmission. So I don't really have to keep up with it. Thomas's mother can, but his dad's meticulous anyway, so he never found out. And he told his mom, she's like, "You did not do that." And he's like, "Yes, I did." She's like, "That is hysterical."
Nice.
And if you don't know
The
Thomas,
thing
well,
is, that wouldn't be a stick-shifted car because the stick Jag sports cars are few and further between.
they didn't in
Not
early
in-
2000s.
not
They didn't.
That one, no, but like an early. No, like XJ12 would be the current F-Type and lesser engines is.
Well, that vintage of Vantage, you could get in a stick.
Yeah, so then you buy a Jaguar that costs twice as much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of same diff, kind of looks the same, but it's a fucking Aston.
Yeah. Well, the thing is,
And the design language pretty much has looked the same since about 95.
it has. But the thing is, too, they always...
They got it right then, and it's only getting better now.
The Brits
except for
always-
the new missing jawline in the new ones.
They always look the same, though. But it's a pretty car, but they do look the same. But that V12 Vantage 6-speed we saw at Cars and Coffee is very at the top of my list of want to have, because it's classy.
The first Aston I drove valeting, I think, was a V8 Vantage. It's like, oh, this is attainable. This will be $40,000 in no time.
There's nothing cheaper than there's nothing more expensive than a cheap British car or European car, for that matter. There's no other than Porsches are actually known for reliability.
It's just the parts are expensive.
Parts
but
are
they
expensive.
hold up better.
Yes, but every other European car, they're not designed. They're designed to perform as well as good as possible, but not for a long time. Whereas Japanese cars are designed to perform as good as possible for as long as possible. And American cars are designed to run as long as possible for as cheap as possible.
Run as badly as possible as long as possible.
Good for it's been better than the it's been better than the 80s versions of, say, maybe a Ford Tempo. Or when was the last time you saw a 1G Probe?
No, and an 89 Topaz was my driver's ed car.
Ooh, and hopefully not your birthstone.
Have you checked what November is?
What does it start with?
T and ends in a Z.
It is. Yeah. No shit.
Yeah.
How awesome is
That's
that?
really funny.
What's mine? What's mine? February.
Not a Ruby.
No, think Prince.
Sapphire?
No.
Amethyst?
Yes. Mine's amethyst. And my
Sorry, I don't go to the gym. Mine.
I go to the James. It's more expensive. My class ring is amethyst. The stone is amethyst, and then the 2004 on the side, the zeros are diamonds. I spent way more money on my class ring than I probably should have.
I got a red garnet one because the school colors at Page High of Greensboro were
Go Page High.
red and black. Eh,
What was the mascot?
Pirates.
Page High. Yeah, that fits. We were the West Stanley Colts, which is a sexually immature horse.
Seems appropriate.
There was always a rumor going around that West Stanley had like one of the highest rates of STDs of their students.
You said Pembroke awful funny.
I thought that was when you went to college.
Yeah, but
Or ECU. No. Where did Brian go to college?
Kirkman?
Yeah.
State?
Okay. I don't know why I thought he went to somebody we know went to ECU. I don't.
My sister did.
Your sister did?
Yeah.
Maybe I was thinking about Kat. I thought one of our male friends went to ECU. But now I can't remember.
I know Matt went to Western Carolina, but that's dead opposite side of the state. And
Hey Matt. Matt's in
have fun in not Charleston.
Matt's in Pawleys Island. By the way, fuck you, Publix. Really? Really?
How'd they mess up the location that badly?
I don't know. Like, I know Matt was probably mad about it, but he took it a lot better. So, for those of you listening,
Still a job at the beach.
yeah, it is. But
It's more
our
beach
buddy,
job than we got.
our buddy Matt. I work at Food Lion. I'm allowed to talk as much shit about Publix as I fucking want to. So hear me out. So Matt works at Publix. He was the assistant produce manager. They were like, oh, by the way, your new position is produce manager. You got promoted. You're going to Charleston in 10 days. Pack your bags. We're giving you the money to move. You're moving to Charleston. Here's your store. Have fun. He's like, awesome. Been looking to make more money. And his parents they moved out of Charlotte a couple years ago. His brother lives in Chi-Town. So he doesn't really have a reason to stick around Charlotte. So Chicago. So he's ready to get out of Charlotte. He likes Charlotte, but he's like, I have no reason to stay here. I want to move.
Well,
I'm single. I have no children.
He's had a lot of springs in his butt in his lifetime, so it works.
Yeah. So he gets everything ready, and luckily, I'm going to preface the story with luckily, he does not sign a lease. So he was going to sign the lease the day before he started at his new store. So he goes down and he stops by his new store on his way to the apartment complex to sign his lease and says, hey guys, I'm your new produce manager. And they're like, oh, we have a produce manager. And he goes, well, excuse me? Yeah, we've had a produce manager for a long time. So he calls his district manager. Hey, I'm at the store that I was told to go to. I'm in Charleston. He goes, you're not supposed to be in Charleston. And he goes, what do you mean I'm not supposed to be in Charleston? You were supposed to be sent to Pawleys Island. And for those of you who were not Geography B standouts, Pawleys Island is an hour and a half in between Wilmington and Charleston. So it's an equal distance. So it's a 35, 40-minute drive from Myrtle Beach, south. So you're south of Myrtle Beach. But you're still an hour and a half from Charleston. Luckily, he didn't sign his lease. So he had to go to his leasing office and say, by the way, I'm not living here. I'm not signing the lease here. So he had to go stay with his parents for about a week, who live, luckily, in North Myrtle Beach, but still an hour one way to work.
Highway 17's a blotch.
It really is. Because the speed limit's like 40 miles per hour, and it's a 45, 50-mile drive.
It's all stoplights, and everyone's doing 12.
Yes, they're stopping at the Gay Dolphin and all. Yes, that's a real store. And all the...
Have you been there?
I have.
It's amazing.
It's a fucking boss.
How much weird shit can you tack into 6 levels of nonsense?
Oh yes, I want a license plate with my name on it and a seashell with my name on it spelled incorrectly. I want all that stuff. But he finally he settled down in Pawleys Island.
The fact that your middle name is a typo is of no concern to them, Jacob.
They had my parents are weird though, because my sister Phaedra is Phaedra. So they must have a penchant for AE, because Jacob JAEKOB, and then my name, and then my sister's middle name is Holland, or actually, you know what? I don't know. When she was born, when she was born, her middle name was Holland, but now her first name is Holland. It's Holland. I'm not giving out full names on here. I hope she listens to it. By the way, I love you, sweetie. We saw you Friday. We had a 3-peat show last week. We played
the thing and the stuff. Saw her on the book face.
You're not even talking into the mic, jerk.
I'm looking up where the hell Polly's Island is.
We played Thursday, Friday, and Saturday last week. We play Friday, Saturday this week. Friday is at Dream Chasers Brewing in Waxhaw, and I'll be honest, I'm not kissing up to them there just because they book us there. That is the most fun place to play. Waxhaw knows how to party because there's jack shit to do in Waxhaw. There's nothing to do in Waxhaw but go drinking. So those guys are awesome. So we're going there, and then we play at Grumpy Monk again in Monroe Saturday.
Wax off.
Oh, Misoagi. You looking at Paul? Where exactly
Polly's Island is?
Matt, we're coming to you.
East.
Yes, Polly's Island. Or I can give you the address to Myrtle Beach from here. It is 74 to 52 to 9 to 38 to 501 to 17. That was the only way we ever took.
Directions, rather?
Did I ever tell you about the time that we all went to the... Actually, I don't know if I went over this on the last couple of episodes, but Toby had just bought his red Civic, and it had 8,000 miles, 10,000 miles on it. We all got drunk.
In my book, that's still a brand new car.
It was. Well, he's like, you want to go to the beach? I'm like, I got to work in the morning. He goes, well, why don't you ride down with us and hang out and then drive back, and you don't have to stay the night. I'm like, and 19-year-old me goes, yeah, that's a good idea. So we ride down there and we all get drunk, and then they get kicked out of the hotel room because a guy named Wes kept throwing empty beer bottles at people walking down the street. And I'm 19. I've been drinking. We killed 2 bottles of Jaeger in an hour. Yeah, it was not a good time. So I drove, it was about 1:30 in the morning, and I went, holy shit. We got kicked out of that hotel, so we had to go to a different hotel. So I snuck out before the cops could actually ask me how old I was. But since I've looked the same for 15 years. So we go to another hotel, they check in, and we start drinking the other bottle of Jaeger. But it's about 1:30 in the morning. I'm like, I've got to go home. By the way, I don't condone this. I don't endorse doing this. It's not a good idea. But I did it. And I was a lot younger. It was 13 years ago. So I was like, I got to go. Toby, give me your keys. So I drive from Myrtle Beach back to Norwood in Toby's car, which I've never driven, which is a year old and has less than 10,000 miles on it. By the way, I'm 19 and I'm drunk as fuck. So the only CD he had in his car at the time, CDs were a thing, was Iced Earth. And it was yes.
Oh shit!
Yes, it was great.
Dude, just play Transylvania on repeat. That's their best one.
So I cranked and Toby's red Civic had roll up and down windows. So I rolled the windows down. This was in July-ish. So I roll the windows.
Toasty.
Yeah, I roll the windows down. I'm hammered shit-faced, and I'm in his Civic, which I've never driven. It's 1:30 in the morning. I have to be at work at 6:30 a.m. Challenge accepted. So I drive, and I make it back to Norwood in 2 hours and 5 minutes from Myrtle Beach, which is moving. And so it's 3:30 a.m., so 3 hours to work. I lay down at Toby's house for about an hour, and then I drive my Accord straight to work after that. That was the longest 6-hour day I've ever had at work before. I ended up leaving halfway during my shift because I was, quote unquote, not feeling well. Steve, you're out of beer.
Yep.
Are we going to remedy that?
Yep.
Steve, what are we drinking right now?
An O'Shea's traditional Irish stout, courtesy of the Rowdy Owdy. We're a month removed from Stapat's Day, so let's keep drinking their beer.
Yep, and I'm drinking a Sam Adams Boston Lager.
Go ahead. Taste test that against an Old Mecklenburg Copper.
Yeah.
I'll wait.
I'm sorry I'm chewing in mic. I know that's a faux pas, but it's a really good-ass egg roll. And do you know who has really good egg rolls?
Saigon Bay?
Yes, but if you're in the mood for an egg roll at 2 a.m. and nobody else is open, do you know who has really good egg rolls? This is going to be a big shocker.
Jack in the Denny's.
Jack in the Box is a really good egg roll.
Huh.
Really good. I respect Jack in the Box because if you're in the mood for
anything,
a hamburger, a gravy biscuit, and an egg roll, you could fucking get all three of those at the same time. You'll have to wait for them because they are made to order, but it's good stuff.
Fry faster.
I'm excited for my California trip so I could finally taste In-N-Out Burger. Everybody says it's the best.
I wish I was aware of that when I went there back in 96 and 98. That said, at whatever random cafes were the first times I had buffalo as a burger.
Which is good.
And ostrich as a burger.
Also good.
No, it wasn't.
I like ostrich.
96. Like, that was dry. It was...
Where did you have it?
Bumstick, LA-ish, 22 years ago. I think I might be overdue to try it again. Gesundheit.
Well, you should try everything twice in case you don't like it. So, I didn't like lamb the first time I had it. It's not that I didn't like it. It's just I thought it was kind of bland. So, maybe it wasn't prepared.
Blammed.
Whoa, Black Betty.
To have it as lamb chops.
I had lamb chops, and I for some reason I was like, this tastes like tough pork. So I don't know if it was cooked correctly. It was at a restaurant.
That does seem fair, but that's been my go-to at Tampa's own Outback Steakhouse for the longest. That the Outback Rack is my go-to. Like, we're at this famous steakhouse, but yeah, I'm gonna have the lamb chops instead. I really like
where
that.
Kids come to play along.
Showbiz Pizza? What?
Lamb chops play along.
Oh,
you said lamb chop. Emily came home one day and I was watching lamb chops play along. She's like, "What is wrong with you? Why are you watching?" It's like, I love lamb chops play along. Sherry Lewis, Charlie Horse. I love lamb chops play along.
I can't do that now. The table's in the way.
This is the song that doesn't end. It goes on and on, my friend.
That's silly. I've heard that song again many times.
Some people started singing it not knowing what it was, and they'll continue singing it forever just because this is the song that doesn't end.
Until we say it does. Otherwise, this podcast is going too long. And oh no, I've got places to be.
Nice.
So sing it as you see fit.
Well, too long is subjective.
Well,
you're closer to home now.
That too. It's now 5 hours instead of 10.
I'm glad you're closer to me.
It's probably the best clang we've had. The bottles make better noise than the glasses do.
They do. They really do. And a lot less danger. One guy, one jar. Do not Google one guy, one jar. Don't do it. All I'm going to say...
It's just kind of shitty.
No.
Kind of cocky.
Kind of bloody. Because said jar shatters inside. Don't Google it. Do not Google it. I mean... If you have all right, I've discussed this before. I'm becoming a sociopath. So I'm starting to have numb feelings towards everybody else's feelings that I don't care about. Like, I care about my comrade Steve. I care about Toby. I care about Thomas. I care about my wife Emily. I care about my wife Emily the most. I don't know why I listed her fourth, but I can't.
In no particular order.
There is no particular order,
and
guys. There's a lot of liquor that's been. Straighten up your boom stand. There we go. Oh, now it's all off kilter. Hold on. There.
Here's the trick. You can edit this.
No, I can't. I'm not going to edit this. We're going to keep this in.
All right.
All right. There we go.
Yeah, priorities.
Anyway, who? Means I win in no particular order.
Nguyen, win? Or WIN, win?
In Guyan?
Nguyen. Sean Smith, hey buddy, he's in Guam. He listens.
Guam.
He's in Guam. He's in chewing Guam.
Gesundheit.
He listens to all these and he loves hearing our voices. Jokes on him. He says he likes the fact that the podcasts get more slurred and we get drunker as the day goes on. And I'm okay with this. I'm definitely okay with this. I don't feel like we do.
That makes one of us.
We sound. I believe we sound, other than this one, because I'm really feeling that maple.
Karik is winning.
Yes.
That's the real start of the show this go round.
It really is.
I've had a lot of fun this time. I sure hope you have too.
I have. We should do
Thanks,
more.
Kentucky.
We should do more of this. We should do more liquor and wine. We do beer. We do beer a lot. We drink a lot of beer. But we should do some more liquor and wine. So what do you mean pick up from the second nicest ABC store I've ever been into next time we do this? I'm going to keep it dark. We got to keep it like our sense of humor. So we did bourbon.
I was going to say not tequila.
I've really got to be in the mood for tequila.
Unless you're making margaritas, no.
We could do our own spin on margaritas.
You're going to be out of town for Cinco de Mayo, so it won't be then.
Yes, I will be at a Hawaiian-themed brewery playing music on Cinco de Mayo at the beach.
Don't you feel better telling the world that right there? Because that sounds amazing.
It really does. I'm looking forward to it, but here's the problem. We just looked up hotels to stay, because it's only a 3-hour drive.
That or Airbnb.
Well, it's a 3-hour drive,
Mm-hmm.
and the only hotel that's available in Charlotte is $110 a night. Here's a top tip for you, though.
Eating into your earnings from said event.
It is. It's $125, and it's actually $125 a night. But I have like 25,000 points to use for my credit card, and that particular hotel is 10,000 points a night. So I'm going to stay for free down there. And louder. Yay. And it didn't even peak. So we're going to stay for free down there. Toby's like, you want any money for your troubles? I'm like, those points expire in July. I do not. I do not want any points or I don't need any money for that. It's going to go away anyway.
Come join us. Play music at the beach.
Yeah. They were like,
Okay.
I was like, they were like, so do you want to play? I was like, we do. And I don't usually do this, but we're going to need a little more money for travel because we're from Charlotte. And they were like, how's X amount of money? And I'm like, that works a lot. So we're going to go down there and play for that. Because, if it were a solo gig, I would just drive to a parking lot and sleep in the Jeep. But Toby and I would fit happily in the Jeep, but that's cozy.
Maybe a little too happily, am I right, folks?
Yeah. Two halves can't make a hole without a hole.
Sorry, you got a couple of them too. What?
But we can't. That would be a weird-looking child.
Can or won't.
Yes. I did have a dream. I had a dream, and I tell Thomas this, and it really makes him uncomfortable. I had a dream I had sex with Thomas one night. And
That's what it takes to make him uncomfortable.
Yeah. He said, that sounds weird. I said, you didn't dream it.
Did Berbiglia teach you nothing?
He taught me everything. I need to meet him. He needs to be on this podcast.
What I should have said was...
Nothing. I'm going to try to get Mike Berbiglia on this podcast. If I do, that's going to be amazing. I need to upgrade my audio interface.
This is now secretly public.
I really want another one of those egg rolls I just ate from the Chinese place right in front of my house that is closed on Tuesday, of all places, of all days. It's closed on Tuesday.
It's Wednesday, so you're in luck.
True, but the missus will be... I got to work in the morning.
I was looking at my watch, preparing to be upset. Like, no, it's still Wednesday.
What time is it?
7:30.
Fuck, we drank a lot in the last hour and a half.
2.5.
You're being...
Yeah, I got here 5-ish.
You're rounding up. You're curving the grade.
Yeah. I'm into school.
We
didn't do that much at it.
I bought an ad, and thank you to all the new people that have liked the page from all around the country.
Hi,
appreciate
everybody.
That. Yes,
Hi,
do appreciate
Dr.
that. Do appreciate it. Going to buy another ad targeted to mostly our state. I feel like I branched out. I did pretty much the entire U.S. except states that nobody cares about.
Confusion? Delirium?
State of... Yeah, I'm out of... Man, my metaphor well is really in need of tapping a new location right now. That's what happens when you start with... We don't drink liquor that much.
I'm feeling strangely fine. How's your semi-sonic catalog, Mr. Guitar Man?
Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end.
I know who I don't want to take me home.
Bruce.
Campbell's good.
Yes. And Bruce from Family Guy's good.
Oh, hey there.
I see that snack under your chair. That's all right. Soda's all right under my watch. Everybody needs a snack.
What other cool Bruces do we know?
Dickinson.
Which one?
The Botham. Cowbells and Running to the Hills.
Cowbells and running to the bells.
Go on.
What other Bruces are really cool? Bruce.
Yeah?
Yeah, Bruce is cool. I think that was what the bikes thing was from, because he was explaining to him about something, and Bruce was like, bikes! And Tom Segura was like, bikes. Bikes! You need to listen to that.
Funny you mention that. Upon the current state of moving out of old place into new place,
he sips his beer.
My bike in the last 3 years has been camped out in the storage room of old place, next to the water heater. Bike's aluminum. Bike components, however, are steel. Being next to the water heater, a pipe burst on the way into the heater. So I walk up to the storage unit, or storage room, utility room, whatever have you. Doors not opening easily. It had been replaced in the last year or 3. So this is not good. Why is there much water in the ground? It's been a few days since it rained. There's a fine mist coming from this braided steel hose leading into the water heater. So that's how and why there's nothing more than a puddle for me to walk through to get to this room.
Hopefully not of mud.
It wasn't far off. Bike is soaked. The drivetrain on the bike is half rusted over. My trusty old art supply box that, let's face it, acrylic paints from 15 years ago. A, they probably need to be pitched anyway. 2, the metal toolbox they're in is in rough shape.
Steel toolbox?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If only I discovered what a backpack was back then. So, let's throw all that out. Bike, it should be salvageable, but it's just camped out in the new garage. have some other things to throw out, adjust, dry off. It's not good. Get landlord over. He's over within an hour to take care of the everything.
Where does the landlord live?
Close enough. I don't know. Dude's, I'd guess north of 70, but imagine Jimmy Carter on speed is
That
what Wayne is.
Sounds amazing.
Dude, he's bonkers. You couldn't make this guy up. Just this
Make your own character in a...
fast talking, fast acting dude that's been through it all and is super upbeat about it. I'll miss him. Seeing his new place is handled through nationwide corporate giant of realty companies. But hey, found bigger, better place on the cheap.
True, for 2 years.
You know, maybe stay there a bit longer because, hey, moving sucks.
It does.
The last month and a half's been proof.
It does. And the thing is, you signed your life away for 2 years. Emily and I signed our lives away for until we decide to sell.
Yeah.
But you know what? One of the houses in this area just sold for close to $300. So Emily wants to stay in this house until we can't go up and down the stairs anymore. I want to stay in this
Elevator, dude.
I want to stay in this house till we're 40.
Elevator.
I want to stay till we're 40, which is 7.5 years from me. Because by then, if we can sell this house for $3 and we owe $100,000, if we make $200G, we can pay cash for the next house and not have a house payment anymore. That's my goal. Because not having a house payment would be dandy. I'm trying out my
Vocal fry.
my vocal fry. By the way, that's part of the singing. Well, no, try it. If you practice if anybody who's serious about their singing, vocal fry is really good for your voice. It teaches your vocal cords how to vibrate properly. So if you go from head voice to vocal fry to chest voice, so it teaches, like, sing a song you would normally sing,
So
and then do the exercises. Yeah, do the exercises, and then it's incredible. It is really incredible. I'm not lying. I do it professionally. It absolutely works. You are drinking much faster than me, sir. Cut it out.
How dare you make the last drops of beer in my bottle spur forth onto your Sam Wadham's bottle.
I'm going to be going to Jack in the Box and I want 12 fucking egg rolls right now. You want sweet and sour? I don't care. Give me the sampler. Give me every sauce you got.
Dude, you could go to Jack in the Box and request the sampler. Get one of everything.
That's going to be $100.
I was going to guess $27, much like going to the Rowdy Aldi.
Well,
I
Aldi's
want
cheaper.
one of everything. Like, I win the lottery, I'm buying one of everything at Aldi.
Lottery's a tax on people who are bad at math. I told that to one of my customers and she didn't like it. But it's true.
Yeah.
It's really fucking
been there,
true.
seen that long before this dumb state had a lottery.
Yeah, pretty much. And the education lottery, by the way, everybody, here's a top tier top tip. It doesn't go to education.
Certainly not math education.
Nope.
Maybe social studies.
We have a lovely lady who shops at our store named Rachel. She's a teacher at.
Does she have a second A in it?
No, so it's spelled like a normal person would spell it. Yeah. So
Rachel. No,
she was,
get out.
She was. We were talking about that. I was like, I went to school to be a teacher, and she said, "Why didn't you finish?" I said, "It's expensive." She goes, "Yeah, I know. I'm still paying student loan debt back." I said, "Yeah, better you than me because I quit before I
rock out with your dropout."
Paid. Take two. I paid. My dad and I was a co-payment. We paid for my education, but then after that first semester, I didn't go back. I was like, I don't want student loans, so I never got student loans and never went back. It's just pathetic, by the way. And I'm not. This is not a humble brag, but if I get paid more than a teacher does in this state, and I shouldn't. Teachers should get paid much more money. I work my ass off, don't get me wrong, but the thing is, people don't realize that teachers, you don't get paid over the summer. You can either get your money, you can either get it divided over the 12-month period, or you can only get paid for the school year. But you're grading papers at night, you're doing lesson plans, you're doing a lot of stuff. You need to get paid more.
Overtime ever.
Yeah, there's no overtime. You just get paid what you get paid. Like, I get paid a sizable amount more than a teacher does in North Carolina, and it's just not fair. Not fair at all. But I know it's not fair, but am I going to protest something that's not going to do any good, or am I going to keep doing what I'm doing and making more money doing it? Option 2. Option 2 it is. And plus, playing music pays. Well, Steve works 2 jobs. I work 2 jobs. This is job 3, but it's not a job. This is just Steve and I hanging out doing fun stuff until enough people want to hear it. It's a job.
And show up once in a while, talking to a mic, whatever.
This is fun. Twice a month is great.
Yep.
Could you imagine doing this every day like the guys from Good Mythical Morning do? But
are they on YouTube or Podding or both?
Yeah, after we get done, I'll show you some of their stuff. But really good guys, really cool. It's very PG. I think they're trying to appeal to everybody, whereas we are not doing that.
Appealing to nobody. Thanks, nobody, for listening.
We got like 3 or 4 new likes from people who live in California and Florida. So if they like it, I think everybody else will like it too.
What's up, palm trees?
What's up? What's up, Shake and Bake, California? What's up, old people in dying Florida? What's up, Heat, Georgia? What's up? Well, you think you're better than me, New Jersey? I think it was one guy from Jersey. Not the shore.
But you shouldn't.
I'll show you some. I'll show you some of their stuff. It's highly entertaining. It's like you and me if we didn't drink, which is a weird concept. Steve
Have you considered ayahuasca?
I'm trying to find some DMT. So Toby and I are going to do some DMT one night. If you're game, just let me know. Ostensibly.
Allegedly.
Yeah. You're allegedly interested.
Yeah, it's this is what I like to call an autostensible podcast.
Autostensible. That sounds sexy.
Should be.
Ooh, what's that banging on the bottom of the table right there?
Your wedding ring?
Nah. Titanium. You know, if your finger swells up, you'll have to get your finger cut off. You know, if you shut up, I won't have to listen to you fucking talk anymore.
Funny thing, if you work your ass off and don't eat too terribly.
It's something about that, yes. I don't ever take this wedding ring off, even when I go to bed. It's titanium. It's never shiny. It looks exactly like it looked when I bought it a long time ago. 5 years will be coming up next month, and that, my friend, is hard to believe.
Is amore.
Like, when you're a kid, they tell you that time goes by faster as you get older, and you don't...
Try it again, but sing it.
You don't believe it, but when it happens to you, you go, oh, it's really horrible. But we've known each other for...
Dozen-ish.
Has it been that long? It's been a long time.
Whenever Whatchamahooza at the bar was that, hey, you're playing here. Hey, what's up? We're regulars. We drink here. You play and drink here.
Well, and
you can't play here, so you should drink here instead.
And then
you should meet your fiance here.
Well, what's and it's not a date get together with your sister that I had that didn't really hit off. Like, we met at Tyler's graduation party at his first house. Mm-hmm. And then met up
at the 19th house, which is fucking cool.
Yes.
Thanks, 1950s.
Yes, absolutely.
You're a pal.
It was. Except for the, beating your wife and leaving at the Beaver and racism and the Korean War. Elvis was cool, though. My dad saw Elvis in concert. Said it was awesome.
Think if I cut off my beard here. Because apparently my hair is already trying to ape him once in a while, so...
Well, accidentally. I do mine on purpose. I'm jealous of your hairline. I will trade you your allergies. I will take your allergies, and you take my hairline.
Just buzz cut it. Don't care.
Well, Emily said my head's too big.
It's unruly.
Emily said my head's too big for a buzz cut. But I don't think it is. I wear my hat all the time, unless I'm at work. I'm going to shave my head eventually because hair plugs are like $8,000. But the way I style my hair...
More music than money, bro. You're totally doing the Greg Barron approach.
Yes.
You mohawk it because then it hides the less hairy parts better.
I call it the double comb over.
I'm going to call it what the comb. I'm going to call it firing James Coney is no way to thank the man that won you the election.
The comb fiore. You're not talking to...
Bleach it out? What the hell, man? I don't know. If I talk over here...
Which I try my hardest, but Steve's a free spirit.
And I don't. I'm here roughly on time with something to mix with the stuff.
Yes.
Let's have some fun, damn it.
We are.
And therefore we did.
And we haven't discussed this in thorough off mic, but I've been having a lot of fun doing this. I've had a lot of fun editing this and promoting this. And between all the first 5 episodes, there's over 200 or 200. It might be close to 250. So it's a lot of views. A lot of people have been listening to this. So I'm sorry for you guys.
My condolences, you crazy fuckers out there. But thanks for doing the thing and lend us your ears. Please do not replicate the Men in Tights bit.
Yes. Always on guard, defending the people's rights. I can't watch that movie anymore. Not because it's not a good movie. It's a great movie. I love it. It's a top 5 movie. I can't watch it anymore because I know all the dialogue, and I know all I do is just mimic everything that's going to happen in the order it's happening. It's like I could just remember it without watching it at this point.
My neck hurts from looking at you sideways. 2, what you need to do is put on a different language.
Well,
watch it in Spanish or French, both at the same time. I don't care. Whatever your TV or Roku can support.
Encantado de conocerte, amigo.
Okay, and the what of your concert?
That's another thing. I may be looking into taking Spanish classes at CP.
Oh, good. You communicate better in America that way.
Yeah.
Hola, señoras y señoritas, y willkommen bei das Autos, Biers und was immer diese Scheiße ist Podcast.
I believe you just mixed a couple of languages.
Keine Scheiße.
Well, our one of our managers at work is from Mexico, and she had said your pronunciation is very good. So if you ever wanted to pursue it, because I took 2 years of it in high school. So I was thinking I might as well make myself a more marketable...
You rocked the fuck out of it prior to going to Puerto Rico for your honeymoon as well.
I did. But then I've been very busy, like with being married and being a musician and being a full-time manager and doing all that stuff. It kind of takes a lot out of you. But I'm thinking about getting back into it just to broaden my horizons and being a more rounded person. It's funny. Segura
You're
said,
going to get fat, aren't you?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
It'd be like either of us doing that.
I don't think we're definitely capable, but I don't think it's likely. Because I just weighed myself at the go-kart track when Emily and I went, and I'm at 168.
Huh?
They have a weight limit, like not limit for high. You have to be a certain weight to race. So mine was at one.
There's only so much this motor the size of this tablet can do.
Yeah, but they'll put you in a kid cart. Emily was above, so she was in an adult cart. They had to pull the pedals closer to her so she can reach the pedals. But
It's either that or platform shoes.
you remember Emily, right? Short little. Never mind. So
Yeah, she's angry with getting away with her murder television.
So I think it was like 168, 169 was my weight. At 6'1", that's probably a healthy weight for me.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to be like right at me.
Yeah, I'm a little shorter, a little stouter, so 5'10", $172.
Well, your frame is thicker than my frame, so your neck and your midsection, your body build is thicker than mine, and mine is thinner. But I have a Gumby body.
I'm gonna be what other rap stars are looking for these days. Hey, fellas, what's going on?
He drives a Ponyoda.
What's going on?
A V12 Ponyoda.
Like, that's not an engine designed that exists. Like the N-shaped 12-cylinder. You can't.
Oh, I drive an N12.
It's like, that's not how it is. Works like it has like a W12.
That would sound weird. That would sound really weird.
Like playing ping pong with the mic stand thingamahoo's.
I have a Gumby body, so my torso is really tiny, and my arms and legs are really long. So it's a Gumby body.
I appreciate that your hair's not aping the same style, though.
Yeah, all the high top fade, the green stuff. I always looked at Gumby and I thought of Skeeter from Doug.
How'd you get kicked off YouTube? Boop boop.
I always resonated with Doug. I felt like I was Doug. Like I was kind of the geeky, self-aware kid with the really good friends and the crushes. But what's funny, we were talking about this at work. Shout out to Terrence, my new old employee. He used to work at our store, but now he works for me.
Dude, he's not an angry 6-year-old dude from Suriname, is he?
No.
Good. Because I had a Terrence at work who was a colossal asshole. So
this one's cool.
You won't be missed.
This one's cool. He's a brother because Eric Massey. Shout out to Eric Massey. Thank you for supporting our country. He is in the Army. He is at basic training. He's there.
Shit.
He's in basic training. So affirmative action called and had to hire me another brother. And Terrence happened to fall in my lap. He used to work at the store. He works for me now.
That's funny phrasing, by the way.
Yes. It's alliteration.
How's your lap feeling? Coco?
Yeah, definitely.
Punk.
I forgot what I was talking about. It was Terrence, and then
You've got new employee and various misinterpretable phrasing thereof. Anyway,
I already forgot. I'm gonna have to stop it and listen to it again. Terrence was.
Well, they have it about 2:07.
Well, Terrence was telling me about something, and then I was trying to. Eric went to the military. Had to hire Terrence. Man, Knob Creek's a hell of a drug. Editing this is going to be fun tomorrow. I really forgot what I was going to tell you.
You got a new employee.
I do.
He seems cool.
He does. He's awesome. He's funny because, like, when he gets excited, like, he'll talk to you normally, and then when he gets excited about something, whether he gets horny or happy or, like, really high-strung about something, he'll start to get real hood. So he'll go from white voice to slightly blacker voice to blacker voice to really hood voice. So as he starts to talk to you, man, he gets all excited. But he talks about food, man. He talks about them hush puppies and them collard greens and stuff. It's like it's a progressive like slope
staccato.
It's like a slope of he goes from regular hood, really fucking hood ass terrorist. I love him to death though, man. He's my boy. You'll have to meet this guy. You still haven't met DJ.
No.
DJ's awesome. DJ could kick all of our asses if he was mean. He's a dancer. He's got these like huge ass body. I mean,
joke's on him. I don't have an ass.
Yeah, you do. I've checked it out.
This is the last time I go to the Mint Hill Library.
I hope the beard isn't as full as it is downstairs. Upstairs, downstairs. Bop it. Well, you're not like me. Like from my Adam's apple to my kneecaps, I'm a baby Huey. It's smooth. It's clear for landing. I've got to feel like it's probably not the same for you. I don't think the people.
What me werewolf?
Well,
I think Applejack's is running out of steam before I do for once.
Well, I'm trying to pace myself. I have to be up in, I don't know what time it is. 7:30?
8.
It's not 8 yet.
Ish.
Shit, it's almost 8.
A watches fast. 2, whatever.
Fuck.
Yeah, I've got this watch, old school Casio calculator watch, by the way.
Shout out to Matt Farah for that.
I don't see them chronicling these.
Says you.
You will not be watching nor listening with this Chinese-built knockoff of the Japanese Casio calculator.
Check out the Watch and Listen podcast from Matt Farah. According to Steve, it's actually really good.
You know, it's still Matt Farah doing his thing, only with different mechanical objects. But that's also been one of my other obsessions. So what do? Rock out with a Casio calculator watch from Kmart in Pineville that hasn't been anything for 2 years now. Rest in pieces, y'all.
Is it anything? Nothing's moved in, so it's just an empty building.
You've not investigated that region at all, but I could tell you that the Bilo there is also closing, so if I could get more cheap wine there... Let's face it, by the time this gets up, I've already got their cheap wine. Joke's on you, suckers. But apparently that, among the other Southeast Grocers holdings, have been closing down post-haste.
Food Line's still going strong.
Because...
Local.
Y'all got the European money.
We got the localness, too. You still feel like you're buying local, which you are, because a lot of our stuff is local.
Versus Buy High and Harvey's, whoever he was. Like, I do believe that to name your grocery store Harvey's within the last year, not a good look. Like, no, I don't think I want to buy one of your hats. Sorry.
It's definitely not a good look in the last year.
I'm going to buy your wines, but not your Steins. Steens.
Well, that was all show. I'm sorry, I'm channeling my inner Sean. He's laughing on camera. Can't off mic.
Yes, Sean Moore.
That was also the vegan hashtag. It was meat. Ooh. There was also me too, but there's meat. Ooh. Steve looks happy.
Baffled, confused, disgusted.
We should do this tomorrow.
Good luck with that.
I got practice tomorrow. I got work and practice.
However, I am long overdue to finish that last bit of stuff at the house in Not Quite Cotswold. So, hey, if anybody's interested, there's, until further notice, still a place vacant near South Park Mall in Charlotte. The cheapest place you'll find between Eastway and 51.
Yeah. Are we on Instagram yet?
Ostensibly, yes. So what I do, post my eclipse picture. Here's me in some goofy sunglasses, wearing not one, not two, but 3 pairs of headphones. Because apparently an eclipse is loud.
Not the new one from Mitsubishi. The Eclipse Cross. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
I would rather slide down a razor blade fire pole into a pool of alcohol than drive that and drink that. It's a horrible looking car.
They've already got Outlander. Outlander sounds cool.
It does. Doesn't look cool, but it sounds cool. Well, look at what Subaru's doing. Look how many SUVs they have now.
Aren't they all? Suddenly everything's the Outback sedan or whatever.
Well, the Outback is a WUV. It's a wagon utility vehicle. I love you.
I love you too.
Aww.
There you have it, folks. We're totally straight married. What?
We're straight.
It's like, I tolerate you too.
We've become very good friends over the last couple of years because we used to live together.
.com.
It's not as exciting as it sounds.
That's probably for better. This is an audio podcast only.
Yeah. We're not going to set up a video feed until somebody sponsors this shit and pays us to do it. Because this is free time. It's free time. If somebody it's like, hey, we're going to give you $1,000 for every episode if you set up a live feed. I'll be like, give me that fucking camera. Give me that.
All right. I get a haircut.
No, you don't have to do that. We just have to set up the camera. It doesn't say we have to maintain a pretty appearance.
Dude, my lion's mane is getting out of control. It's time for a haircut. If I'm gonna be,
says you. Look at between the two of us, which one of us needs the haircut worse? Oh, he's taking the headphones off. I still maintain mine's worse because you have more hair than me. And so mine looks gappy. Because I usually wear the Federer. Who's my favorite tennis player, Roger Federer. I'm going to get my haircut eventually.
It's fedorable.
Well, this is wrapping up episode 6 of Cars, Bars, and Guitars podcast. We are significantly more drunk than any other of the end episode. Hey, I'm not used to liquor. We might even do wine next time. It has to be dessert wine.
I meant, to whom may concern listening to this nonsense.
Glad you're listening to it.
Than you.
Yep, got to start somewhere. I like this. I like doing this, and I think we could do this for a living.
One of these days.
Yay!
Anyway, meantime, things and stuff for Applejack Sold. I'm Steve.
I'm AJ.
And cut.
Later. I want more Knob Creek maple.
Good all night.
I'm going to leave that in.